More than 100,000 public benefit foundations are active in the EU. Together, they have assets of 350 billion euros and employ about 800,000 people, not mentioning the numerous volunteers that support their activities. Already today, many of these foundations manage or support projects and issues across borders. This should not come as a surprise, as many issues such as climate change, health research, or even sports and education are of international concern. Yet these foundations are confronted with extreme bureaucratic and often costly burdens when they pursue activities outside their national borders. More than 50 pieces of legislation applicable to foundations and a host of complicated administrative procedures give rise to annual costs of about 100 million euros for legal counsel only, money that is not longer available for public benefit purposes. In order to remove these barriers, the Commission proposed the introduction of a European Foundation Statute. In doing so, any foundation based on such a statute or converting its statutes would be recognized as a public benefit foundation in any other member state, thus avoiding a lengthy and costly case-by-case recognition process. Citizens would benefit from this increasing funds available for example, climate protection, education, health and social issues. Donors wishing to donate money abroad would benefit from the same tax treatment than national donors. In addition, the same minimal standards would apply to all European foundations in terms of transparency, accountability, registering and supervision. A European foundation would thus be a quality reference for both citizens and donors. However, even though a European foundation and donors would be subject to the same tax treatment as a national foundation or donor, this is not to be understood as an attempt at harmonizing taxation across the EU. As rapporteur in the Culture Committee, I support the European Foundation Statute and see it as a great opportunity to channel more money and knowledge into areas that are important to all citizens. Yet foundations will not and should not relieve states from their social duties towards their citizens. Nevertheless, they can contribute by supporting areas where they see a need. This statute will not make it necessary to build up new structures or institutions, as it will be implemented through existing rules applicable to national foundations and supervised by existing authorities. When introducing such a statute, however, I insist on ensuring that such an European foundation is viable and sustainable and efficiently supervised. A foundation that goes bankrupt after 1 year because it has to spend too much money on excessive requirements unnecessarily binds and wastes resources. I therefore put forward the following points in my opinion. 25,000 euros are the minimum level of assets required. This is necessary because we want to avoid that foundation need to touch its capital stock only to be able to fulfill the requirements set out by the proposal. This goes hand in hand with my request to exempt smaller foundations from annual accounts audits. In addition, we have to avoid that a foundation statute that heart of any foundation can be too easily changed. Therefore, changing the statute should require the support of its governing board and at least one of other body. Also, the existence of a European foundation should in principle be open-ended. The possibility to close it down after 2 years, as it would be possible according to the Commission's proposal, would put the trustworthiness of the foundation in danger. Last but not least, in order to ensure the efficient supervision of a European foundation, both its registered office and administrative headquarters should be in the same member state. Taxation barriers, for example, the fact that foundations from outside a member state are treated differently from national foundations, are currently the major barrier for foundations. Several cases have been put before the European Court of Justice, which ruled that foundations from other member states had to be treated in the same way as national foundations. The statute now intends to enshrine this principle in a regulation. I fully support this objective, as a statute without equal tax treatment would miss the chance to make more investments possible into the public purposes which benefit all citizens in the EU.